When is the media going to acknowledge that average Americans have been robbed? The student loan debts, this is a form of theft from us. This is something that used to be, hey, I'm an American. It's the richest country in the world. But then you get these Republicans who come on and they say, oh, but we can't afford to support our colleges anymore. It's just, we just don't have the money. And of course, we don't have the money because trillions of dollars are being stashed in offshore tax havens by multi-billionaires and large, corporations, very profitable corporations, in fact. So Lynn Paramore writes, from the lips of Paul Ryan, chief spokesman for the blame the poor politics, came a curious mea culpa recently. He should not have referred to hardworking Americans trying to feed their families as takers. Oops. Mitt Romney, by the way, said similar things in 2012. But, Paul Ryan's been on this makers-takers theme for years, Lynn writes. And of course, this originated with Ayn Rand in Atlas Shrugged. That there's the makers, which is the people, in Atlas Shrugged, it was Dabney and her brother, and this daughter and son who inherited this railroad from their father. So the makers are rich people who inherited money from daddy, sort of like the Koch brothers. If daddy makes a fortune with Joe Stalin, drilling oil in the Soviet Union, brings it home to the United States, and Koch Industries is born. And so we are makers. The takers were in Ayn Rand's novels, the takers were the employees. They were taking money from the makers, which is a little bizarre, but, anyway. So the question, this money, where has all this money gone? Why is it that we can't afford to, the Republicans tell us, and some Democrats, but mostly Republicans, the no we can't crowd. Why is it that they say we can't afford education? We can't afford free college for everyone in America who wants it. Sure, Donald Trump's kids, they don't need free college, and they're not going to use it. They're not going to go to a junior college or a state university. They're going to go to, Yale or Wharton or whatever. So why is it that they're saying we can't afford education? We can't afford job training. We can't afford to heal the sick. What, single-payer health insurance? Oh, we could never do that. I don't know if you saw President Obama's interview on Fox News. They asked him, what happened to single-payer? And he essentially said, the people of America, didn't want single-payer. It's not quite what I remember, but, that's his story, and he's holding to it. Healing the sick. Retirement. Oh, we can't afford Social Security. We've got to cut Social Security, don't you know? And, again, back in 12, I think, when President Obama was willing to do the grand bargain, which included cutting Social Security, and a lot of Democrats said, no, President Obama, we're not going to cut Social Security. Oh, but we don't have the money. Well, we don't have the money because we've been robbed. We've been robbed by transnational corporations and billionaires. Louise, there's something in the printer. If you could grab it and bring it in here. I wanted to go off on it in this segment. So there's a new book coming out. It's by Rana Foroohar, who I don't personally know. In fact, this is the first time I've come across her name. But the book won't be released for about another month. And it's titled Makers and Takers, The Rise of American Finance and the Fall of American Business. And the basic premise of this book, Foroohar is the assistant managing editor for Time magazine, an economic columnist, global economic correspondent at CNN. And she said, okay, where are the takers? It turns out that the takers are in Wall Street, right? And this is this massive swindle, the financialization of America. We don't have businesses anymore that just basically stand alone and grow. We have businesses that are massively in debt to the banksters. We don't have, students anymore who know what they know. We've got students who are in debt to the banksters, and then we've got all these corporations. This is from the CTJ report. on the Fortune 500 companies. As a group, they're looking at 15 U.S. corporations. These 15 corporations' tax situations shed light on the widespread nature of corporate tax avoidance. As a group, the 15 companies paid no federal income tax on $21 billion in profits last year. Even more astonishingly, as a group, they paid no federal income tax on $93 billion in profits over the last 5 years. This is profits, not revenue, profits. 7 of these companies received federal tax rebates in 2015, and almost all paid exceedingly low rates over a 5-year period. We're talking about CenturyLink, Netflix, International Paper, Ryder Systems, PG&E, JetBlue, Qualcomm, Johnson Controls. I mean, the list just goes on and on. So, A, we're being robbed by the bankers, and B, we're being robbed by these corporations. We spend over $1 trillion shoveling tax money to corporations.
This is the Thom Hartmann Program.
We could pay off the entire student debt with just the tax subsidies that we're offering to corporations in America.
To watch more clips from our programs, hit the Watch More Videos button over here. And please be sure to hit the handy-dandy subscribe button so you'll always be up to date. Tag, you're it.